So you were just up. What is the first thing people does? They switch on their kettle. Most of us have a cup of tea or coffee. So that's my practice as well. And when there is an established practice, try to get any other new habits that you want to have with that. So this is my coffee, always ground coffee, at least most of the time, stopped up. Then I poured it into here, and now I'm going to dilute it with this. So that is a habit which is established. Like, I think most of you have got this habit, if I'm right. Some sort of drink, even if it's no drink, at least a big glass or a bottle of water you should gulp down, because body is very dry. So your first box is ticked. You had a good sleep, woke up at the same time. Get then dehydrated body gets rehydrated, and then as you sip your first cup of coffee, stand, because I think if we stand we get more job done and it's more healthy rather than sitting down. So let me have a sip. So they say that reading is a meta habit. Meta habit means one habit that will lead to many other good habits. So things that come very naturally to me is reading and sharing my experience. Cooking, I'm really fond of cooking, and again sharing my love for cooking, and other stuff which is a bit my childhood stuff. And I realized, as far as landscape drawing is concerned, I'm still living in my school, primary school standard, because the other day I tried to randomly use this newly bought color pencils from a charity shop and see what can I or what do I want to draw. And repeatedly, this is the picture I am drawing since my kind of child life. I don't know why, but anyway, so can you see? It looks like maybe a year 3 or year 4 is drawing this. So sometime our other qualities can be stuck in a junior level. So suppose as you are drinking, sipping your morning cup of coffee, it's kind of a meditation time, because it is quiet. There's nobody else up. And it is only 5 o'clock, as you can see, in the morning. But I went to sleep before you guys went to bed. So, I'm good with my sleep time and quality. Now, if I read even one page, actually I do 2 pages, sometimes 3. So I was showing you yesterday's video. This is the book Ikigai I'm doing. I always get a heavy paperweight. This is my actually knife sharpener. And suppose in real time, I'm going to read this book for you. Aging Escape Velocity. So, for more than a century, we added only 0.3 years to our life expectancy. What is escape velocity then? In theory, we would achieve biological immortality. Okay, so basically, if we keep on adding years to our lives, then every year it increases, though sometime we can reach escape velocity. Okay, sometimes when you read, you're not getting the meaning, you're just kind of trying to understand. So this happened to me right now. I'm just kind of scanning it, and then aging, then rabbit, immediately comes to my mind. Elephant lives long. Tortoise hardly moves, lives longer. So how old a person would be when they die naturally, like average humans? Tortoise is kind of predetermined because of the telomere length. Now my previous knowledge is coming into play, but if you want to quickly read it, just read it with me. Perfect. You put your date. That's how I I'm going to 19. Okay, Monday. So that's my 1 page done. And then my professional page, I'm reading a book on hepatology. So randomly I will open something randomly and I start reading. And this is about a 72-year-old man with painless jaundice. Immediately what comes to my mind is cancer, cholangiocancer, pancreatic cancer, because it's painless, okay? Or it can be drug hepatitis, which is also painless. Let's see. So I'm going to bore you because you might not be a doctor, so let's pause the camera and read the book. But actually, let's not pause the camera. So basically, just scan the page. You take a history. What are the specific questions you're going to ask? This is all about questions. Then what are you thinking? Okay, so obviously what I'm thinking, painless jaundice is other obstruction, which I mentioned, cancer. It's not gallstone, and it can be drugs. It can be autoimmune hepatitis. It can be even, say, virus, or it can be alcohol, although alcoholic hepatitis will be kind of painful. So the differential diagnosis: pancreatic cancer, autoimmune hepatitis, malignancy like cholangiocancer. They forgot to mention about drug hepatitis. Chronic hepatitis, I would disagree, because it is not first thing I'll think, because it'll be on and off pain. So what are the most appropriate investigation? Obviously imaging and liver screen I will do first, okay? Cross-sectional, CT scan, urgent CT scan. Basically malignancy. What is investigation next? Which is the liver panel? Histology rarely we'll have to do, but it's one of the thing, and you take history. So this is just a quick scanning, okay? And then give another 1 minute, you do a little bit of more scanning, then you put your date and 24, sorry, why am I writing 3? It's April, isn't it? So change that to April. So this is kind of your 2 pages done, and more, because my attention is divided into talking to you. If I just read without showing you, sharing you, it will be much faster. Okay, so that's it. So your habit is done. Another sip of coffee, and I'm going to start this thingy. It's falling in love. I will still say the real cook like phlegm. They don't like this, but this is so convenient. Number one, this is so more hygienic, less oil, very fast cooking time, saves a lot of energy. And you need to know how to add some spice. Let me open it. So first I'm going to give some garlic salt, and I'm going to do exactly the same with this one. I'm just going to see what is the difference, and I will not tell my family which one was cooked how, whether they can feel any significant difference. Then comes my piri masala. Little bit more. My kids love piri. Perfect. Little bit of piri here too. Okay, now comes the black pepper. Here too. Looks like I'm not giving enough to this batch, just to prove this is not as good as the other one. Not true. Then mixed herb is basically I call Bost MP. Bost as in basil, oregano, sage and thyme, and MP is marjoram and parsley. So this is your British European mixed herb. What is next? My favorite, smoked chipotle, to give a little bit of spicy and chili factor. Oh dear, I can't even, with one hand it is difficult to do stuff. I wish I've got 2 hands like a normal human, and 1 hand extra for my camera. Okay, all done. And here I'm just going to dab a little bit of butter there. Perfect. On. Let's see who wins the battle. Air fry. 240. Start. And finally I'm going to squeeze this to just give the savory factor. So do you know what I mean? And forming good habit, link established habit, make things visible so that when you wake up it is open. I read this, what is the next chapter? And I need a page marker for that. Always keep something here so that you can mark it. You have to mark it. My son says you must not mark it, and he was telling me there is evidence that marking doesn't help. Whatever is this evidence is a bullshit evidence, I told my son. And always cook some vegetables, and I will just drizzle a little bit of olive oil. Come on, olive oil, fall down like rain. So again, sit, and now heat down a bit. So as it is heating up, let me try to draw something. So there are three forms of drawing for me. One is landscape, from memory or from a picture, face from a memory, a picture, or the whole human body, or something abstract like something in front of me. And I'm going to try to show you. So when you try to learn something, it makes your brain more plastic. So always do novel stuff that will challenge you. So because of ADHD, I can focus on many different things at the same time, which will be rather difficult for some other people. Now I'm going to now shift my focus because I can smell the difference. So what I'm realizing, I need butter. I should have put butter before turning. Now it is giving me warning, add food. Now I'm going to show you what that means. Push. Always push before you shift. Now again, it is difficult. My technique is two spoon turning. Oh dear. This is called morning glory. I never had this before. I just spotted it in the shop, and all I'm doing before spicing up, I'm just making it a bit soggy. It's like a stir fry kind of soggy. Olive oil is a very healthy fat. So now turn. So let's see what happened to my dish. The smell and the orderliness compared to this disorderliness. No, sorry, you are good too. Don't you worry. Now, time to cap up everything. I think they need a little bit of drizzle. And I don't have to turn because, can you see, it's perforated, so hot air is coming from top and bottom. So let's do another blast. So I think it's almost done. So compared to the stuff that you eat in the restaurant, this is so much better, okay, at 1/4 the cost. This is very good for omega-3 fatty acid, which is actually EPA, which is very good for your nerves and brains. I think time to stop this and add all my spices. Here I'm going to just put some garlicky piri, that's it, little bit, not too much. And here I'm going to use rock salt. I use different salts. I tend to use as little as possible the actual, this white salt. So for your eyes, I have turned 4 of them and not one, and now is the final sour time. Switch off, I'm done. And now shift attention to this. My kids will be so happy. All done. Now it can stay there and you switch off. Perfect. So in the meantime, I understood what that rabbit thing mentioned. So it says that for the last century, every year, the life expectancy of humans went by zero point 0.3 years. So that means in 10 years' time, our average life expectancy will be 3 years more. So that means 10 years ago, if a human lived, say, 80 years, it will be 80 plus 3 in 10 years' time, then again 3 in 10 years' time, then again 3. And why this is happening? Advances is technology. So with this logic, it says that if you think you are walking, there is a sign that you're going to die at 89 years. And who is holding the sign? A rabbit, they mention. It can be elephant as well. And if you advance, and if the rabbit also advance, you will never catch the rabbit. That means you will be immortal. So that's that page I just read. Anyway, so my cooking is done. My coffee is almost at the end. My 2-page reading is done. And it's a new habit. So this will be a bit, just random, all my pencils. You get the message, yeah? You don't have to finish it. It's just the idea. So make your new habit visible and link it. That's the main thing. And make it very simple so that you don't have to struggle about your new habit. That's my pen brush. Anyway, and let's put a date. Today is 24th April 23, Monday. And let's put a nice signature. Is that my signature? See what I mean? So when you try to copy something, your brain gets activated in a different way. It's called neuroplasticity. So, and your hand-eye coordination brain, it kind of activates more part of your brain. So that's anti-aging. So if you want to live longer, happily, healthily, and that's about this book, it talks about why in the blue zone people live more than 100 years and what is the secret. And this is one of the secret. This is another secret. Lots of fish, lots of fat, lots of vegetable, move around and engage. It's called Mawai. That means your close network of community. It can be, your friends. It can be a weekly club, the Toastmaster. You learn how to speak, or you go to a photography club, or there's another club here called University Over 60 or something like that. So just get into a clan, get into a tribe, do some good stuff. So I'm going to stop now. Have a lovely, lovely Monday.